Since we're live, which we are. Now I got to go to Instagram and hit go live.
We should do it on the Tiki Talkie.
It hasn't offered that yet.
Well, it still exists, and then when TikTok goes away, well,
it's never going away. I think that's all such BS. I don't even know why we talk about things like this.
It makes too much money to go away. Like,
All politics.
It's pretend. It's all pretend.
mm-hmm.
Figure out. My iPad is like when I plug it in to charge it, it goes down. I don't understand that. It's done that twice now.
Is it
Funny.
older or newer? My iPad is like old.
It's the newest iPad Air. Like, I mean, it's 2021. I use the crap out of it. Like, I use it probably, I bet you I use it 6 hours a day, but, or more, but it shouldn't do that. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, it went, like it was charged more before I plugged it in. Like, it's like it's drawing reverse power or something.
I need to close the door to my office just 1 sec.
Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Getting ready to record the show. We're going to be talking about Mexican food here for the Friday show. So if you have suggestions, get ready. That won't be till the Friday show, so don't put them in yet. Come on. It's not going up.
Okay.
It's on 35%. Hang on. Actually, I'm just going to leave it turned off until the second show because I don't need it till the second show. Because I can't have Discord on this computer or else every time somebody posts it goes whoop, whoop, but I can have it on my iPad sitting there so I can like watch it. Anyway, let's do a podcast.
Let's do one, shall we?
We shall. It's 24:51. Wait. What's today's day? The 11th. This will be about our 16th year Friday. We'll talk about that.
What the heck?
I know.
Seriously? Wow.
What the heck?
Right? Like crazy. That's crazy.
Most podcasts last 1/10 of how long.
Exactly. They don't even last 1/10. They last
they're like 5 episodes in. They're like, this is work.
Okay, I'm done.
That's it.
Like, I have a life and I just want to actually do stuff on Mondays, but I still haven't figured that out yet.
You know what? We've got it down to such a science.
We do. We're
do.
in and out and boom. We do. We
like,
don't mess around. We just Mondays or podcast nights, 1.5 hours, and we're boom. Week's done.
We're like, sorry, y'all.
We are, dude. Our families know. Okay, here we go. 24:51. Welcome to episode 2451 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week and you're settling into it being light outside and being able to get outside and enjoy the weather after work or after school. It is glorious. And here in the Midwest, the weather has turned to spring. Man, if you're not in a good mood this week, I don't know. You are definitely Oscar the Grouch. So hang in there. We're going to try to cheer you up with some fun Disney talk. I know my buddy Scotty G, who's not with us tonight, but he's happy because he's got a spring break trip like less than a week away, and he's already bugging me with all the tweets and all the optimism. I mean, I'm not going anywhere for spring break this year. I'm home, and I'm already. Here's how it works with Scotty. Because when he goes down, I can already, this is how it's going to be. This is how it always is. And I do the same to him. So I deserve it. But he's going down for like 8 or 9 nights, Coronado Springs. And that's my jam. That's my place. So while I'm here grinding for when he's down there for those 8 or 9 days, I'll be like working. And I'll be getting this text after text of him eating ice cream and having Maya Grill or sitting at Siesta, the little pool bar, the dig site pool, or he'll be doing all the cool stuff. And like, dude, it is 10 o'clock in the morning. You should be working, you sucker. And you're down there on spring break having the best time of your life. I don't know if your friends do that to you, but I just want to wring his neck. I love him, but it's like, oh, you're living your best life. And I'm sitting here just type, boring life. So get ready. I know that you probably feel my pain, but turnabout's fair play, and we'll have to make sure that happens. But anyway, we're gonna have a good time answering your list of questions. Joining me today from a Disney World Afterall.com and the mouseforless.com, we have Rikki. Rikki, happy Wednesday. What's up?
Happy Wednesday. Yeah, crazy that daylight saving time is here, and I love that the sun is out even longer. So that part's nice, and we'll see how this goes with Lucy and sleeping. So luckily she's a pretty good sleeper, although lately she's been teething. So teething and sleeping don't go together so well, but it's okay. We'll get through that, and we'll have a full night of sleep again here soon, hopefully, because daylight saving time and teething don't go together very well. Let me just tell you.
I just recorded Mike in the Midwest for this week right before this show, so I'm doing 3 in a row here. I don't know why I'm trying to do this, and I lost my train of thought because I'm so tired from this.
That's right. Yeah, that's the whole point of daylight saving. It's just you're just tired. Yeah.
Who knows how the third show will go in this sequence? Because I totally lost my train of thought like 10 minutes into the first show because I'm exhausted since daylight. And I love daylight saving time, to be honest, because my life's so boring. It gives you something to look forward to 2 weekends of the year.
Nice.
But I'm not teething, but I mean, it's gotten me. It usually doesn't get me. I don't know what it is this year, but it's wiped me out. So
yeah. So it's definitely, I feel like it's been a little tougher this year. I don't know why. I mean, I know why for me, but I feel like everybody overall, it just seems like it's gotten tougher. But we'll get through it. Everybody, plenty of coffee. We're a couple days in now, so hopefully that will help us all. I've been definitely downing the coffee though. So that's been my saving grace. Thank goodness.
Yep.
So.
And by the way, the day we're recording, actually it's a National Take a Nap Day.
Oh, well.
But we've already missed it. We've already missed it.
Yeah.
It was Monday. So
can I take a nap when I go to sleep? And then that
I used to be a teacher and I'm allowed to write notes. Everybody take a nap today if you want.
Okay, cool. That works.
I'll write you a note. And also Pam Forrester, she's joining us. She's co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. And Pam, what's that behind you? That's the missing hour of sleep from the weekend. What's up?
That's where it went. There we go.
Right? Yeah. So remember when you were younger and your parents would complain about daylight savings and you'd be like, what do you mean? Like daylight savings is impactful to you and whatever. Each year of your life, I think it becomes more impactful, don't you think? I mean, it's just like you're less and less able to actually make the transition. So
yeah, I agree.
I'm not sure what that says, but
I don't know.
Here's where we are.
Let's just do away with it. Seriously. Like they've talked about it for years. Come on. Let's just cut it. It's fine. Let's just
I would love if they would do that.
We
need to stay on this.
Yes, we need to stay on this here, not go to the other. Yes.
Yeah.
I had a whole discussion. I had a whole dissertation on it today on Mike in the Midwest. Not trying to sell the show, but I talked about how boring my life is, that I do get excited that 2 weekends of the year.
Okay.
One, I get excited because like you get that whole like the stays light longer and that's kind of cool. And then, the fall, like I get excited because you get an extra hour of sleep. Now I get sad because it gets dark so early. So it's kind of get a wash, but when it happens over winding down race weekend, you're a runner.
That's the best. That is the best. Yes,
it's a bonus. Yeah,
that is the best. But actually, this week, seriously, when I lived in St. Louis, and you just wait and pray for winter to be over. This week was honestly one of my favorite weeks because it was really the swing to spring because you have Pi Day, which is this week. You have the Ides of March, which for book nerds, that's
don't get shanked.
Yeah, that's don't get shanked. There you go. That's there. And then you have St. Patrick's Day. So like those 3 days in a row, I feel like they were my turning point. So I always waited for this week. I don't know what that says about me, to be perfectly honest.
So for the record, I think people know that if I ever run for president, one of my platforms is going to be to outlaw freestyle Coke machines. That's one of my main things. I hate those things because you get behind a 6-year-old and they try to make the 78 Coke decision. And one of my other platforms will be that if we're going to stay with the switches, but we're going to make the jump like the light speed in the spring. We're going to spring forward at 4:00 on a Friday.
Okay, got it.
Get them in the middle of the night stuff. We're jumping from 4 to 5, heading down to the Mexican restaurant.
Oh, I see. I kind of like this. No, I think we should make the jump from 5 to from 4 to 5. Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
4 to 5 is
that way you lose an extra. Well, I mean,
in the morning.
you shouldn't be working all. Maybe hopefully you're not working on Sunday, or Saturday. So that would be nice. Yeah, you lose that. Yeah, I think that would be work.
I'm good. I'm on board with this. Yeah. What do we have to do?
Yeah.
Can we get this on the voting platform for this year? Like, is that possible?
There's 2 ends to enrollment, people. 2 ends when you write me.
Let's write
Mike enrollment.
There's a whole platform.
Yeah.
You know what though? Given the alternatives,
it might be the better platform. That's true.
Don't write me in. I do not want any of that smoke. Okay, here we go. Diane's got a question. Thank God. Diane's question. Gideon's has been open for a few years now, and I've yet to try these famous cookies. We visited numerous times, but with zero game plan, kind of like every one of these podcasts.
Right.
And the lines just make us turn around. Can you give me all your tips and tricks for scoring some of these delicious looking treats? We're going next month. Thanks in advance. And we love Diane. She's always here with us.
Yay.
Okay. I've never had a Gideon's. Actually, I have had Gideon's cookies, but only because they brought it at the Give Kids the World fundraiser.
Yes, you did. All right. So my tip is if you can't go off property and go to the one, toward downtown, which I know most people can't do, but I get it. That's always the one to go to. It has no line, or at least not much of a line. But if you're going to want to Disney Springs, the first thing, and I mean the very first thing you need to do is you need to go to Gideon's and put yourself on the wait list. I mean, it doesn't matter what time you get there unless
they aren't doing that anymore. Unless
not doing the wait list?
Unless it's really huge, they are not doing the wait list.
Really?
Yeah.
When did they change that?
I think it's been off and on throughout. They really only put the wait list in play if things are really insanely busy.
Well, I guess I've always been when it's insanely busy because I've even been with them the last 6 months, and that happened to me. So I still say go see how the line situation is, and then if they have a wait list, at least then you can be on the wait list ASAP. And then you can do things around Disney Springs. And
it is. I've been disappointed that they've actually stopped the waiting list, but they typically only do it if the line is really reaching not just beyond that ledge, but even beyond that.
Got it.
So it has to go beyond that point, and then they will typically open the wait list. I think one of the things that I would recommend is, first of all, not on the weekend. Because true. Downtown Disney is 100 times busier on the weekend. It just is. And in the evening, unless you're sort of hitting that spot like when people may not have left the theme parks because it's early, but yet aren't coming there for dinner. So you could try that. Another thing you can do is go in the morning, but I'll be honest, we have been there first thing when it has opened and there was still a line there. So make sure that you're going to be able to get there as soon as it opens.
Yeah.
Not within 10 minutes, not within 15 minutes of it opening, like before it opens. And try that. And I was trying to think of something else. I wish that there was a great way to suggest doing that. There just really isn't. But I will tell you, more than the cookies, the coffee is fantastic. Yeah. That peanut butter cold brew is great. And they usually have a special each month that they'll put out there. They also have special cookies that they put out each month in addition to their standards. And their standard chocolate chip and their toffee chocolate chip and their peanut butter and their cookies and cream. Those are sort of standards, but they have some really good specialty ones that happen each month too.
Okay, that must have been what I did then, because I feel like I definitely have gone on the weekend / also evening. So I feel like that's why I've been put on the wait list then. So that makes way more sense.
I can't believe though that a place that just sells basically coffee, cookies, and cake can't be more efficient getting that stuff out for the cost they're selling. I'd want to get people in and out, boom, and
busy.
It's unbelievable.
It's just that busy.
It's unbelievable. It's just for a minute, I just can't. It's unbelievable. They're selling at high cost, and it's not, it's not even something that takes that long. Just dish that stuff out.
I know.
Because the cookie of the month this month is one that it looks rocking.
It looks amazing.
Like a peanut butter cup kind of combo.
Yes.
Chocolate and peanut butter are my jam. I'm usually not into it. It's too kind of crazy looking. But that one I saw and I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah.
Getting my belly
That looks
button.
phenomenal.
I
All right.
know.
Next question is actually over in the inbox. We're going to go back and forth today from Jonathan in Cranston, Rhode Island. Says Mike and company. Spring is coming to New England, and I've been daydreaming for our next Disney World vacation. Our last 2 trips, we stayed at Wilderness Lodge, but as prices continue to go up, I've been thinking about moderate resorts. What do you guys think about the moderate substitutions for deluxe resorts? Is Caribbean Beach the poor man's Polynesian? Thanks for the great show, John. I like Coronado.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think
Coronado feels like, I hate to say it, but like that is my deluxe right now. Like when I'm in Coronado, I walk around and I feel like I'm the Monopoly man or something. Because I mean, I don't typically go deluxe, but I feel fancy when I'm at Coronado. I don't know, it just feels fancy. Like I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I got nice sit down restaurant options. The dig site pool is nice enough. Like I mean, I don't need anything more than the dig site pool. It's got a nice slide. I mean, I'm not gonna slide usually. You know, I'm old.
Oh, I
The
have
quiet pools
I
are the
have proof of you
sleepers.
sliding, by the way.
Right, the quiet pools. You got 2 fitness centers. You got the one in
Yeah.
the studios. You got the one in the tower. You got the tower. You got the awesome the new. Why is the name slipping me? The bar that's in the bottom of the tower.
Barcelona.
Barcelona, yeah.
Yeah.
And Dahlia up top.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it just the grounds feel nice. Even just the porte cochere right there as you pull up outside.
My one complaint is the quick service there.
I like it. I like it. I mean,
It was so much better before. It was
Yeah.
Maybe.
just 100
Oh,
times
yeah,
better.
it was, but I still like the little sweet treat corner. They have some great sweet treat corner there. That's my jam. But you're right. They did have better food back in the Pepper Market days.
They really did. Yeah, they really did. And it was like cooked fresh. They would do, right in front of you. I feel like that was such a huge thing. That's my one complaint about this. The good news is that they have some sit down options or some quick service options that I think put out some great food too. I think even Rick's, the sports bar, has good food. Again, it's
really good food.
Just regular food. It's like what
and that's why I like it.
I know,
but it's good food.
It is. Agreed.
Kind of creative too. It's actually kind of creative.
Agreed. We had stayed there for a while and ended up going there. It would be Friday night and we'd be like, okay, I just want to go somewhere that's easy. I just want something regular. And we would go there. They have some great beers on tap. They just do it with Three Bridges and Dahlia and Rick's Sports Bar and even the Laguna Bar that's right there. The Laguna Bar has actually been offering some hot food options. Now, where these come from?
That's like right on the lake there. There's not a kitchen.
Right. There's scuba divers that bring them over from Three Bridges.
Exactly.
No, they must come from inside from one of the kitchens either. I wouldn't think Maya Grill, but maybe Maya Grill or whatnot. And so they are, and they're just a few options. So they're, not a ton, but still, if you're just looking for a quick meal, that's another place. I just think that Coronado has a lot of pluses. It really does. But when you're talking about moderates, I mean, Caribbean Beach has the Skyliner access. And I think that that's really hard to compete with for a lot of people. It makes going to Epcot and Hollywood Studios such a plus. So
it's got the Skyliner, it's got a great feature pool and that pirate pool. The food court at Caribbean Beach is underrated. We don't talk about that very much. Sebastian's Bistro is a solid table service restaurant. And the thing that people forget is that you are extremely close to Riviera, which gives you options for dining there too. Primo Piatto is probably a top 5 counter service restaurant on property.
100%. I agree. And at every meal, it's not like some meals are solid and some aren't. Like literally breakfast, boom, lunch, yes, dinner, yes. And you have the little cafe there too, which I think, first of all, is making some great coffee for those who drink coffee drinks. There's a few of them that are some of my favorites. Like I actually will go there to get these coffees. And they just have little cute little snacks. And then in the evening, they sort of have more appetizery like things. So you have access to that when you're staying at Caribbean Beach. You can either take the Skyliner or, as Mike said, walk over. And that's cool. And people love Port Orleans French Quarter. I think it has always been such a beloved resort because it was smaller in size and easier to navigate. And really, we went as far as you could at Port Orleans French Quarter. The furthest corner of the furthest building, and you're still talking a 5-minute walk to the main building.
That's what Pat stayed in his last on his last trip. He was in building 1 and he was just raving about it because he was like in the corner of building 1 in one of those corner rooms. I was like, oh dude, you got the spot right on the Sasagula.
You do. And that's a great thing. And then, of course, Riverside, we're not helping at all. I'm telling you why they were all great. And Riverside has so many great options, too. First of all, they have the 2 themes. And, I like the Alligator Bayou rooms because...
rustic girl.
Yes. I'm such a camper. Like, that's my camping.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
You like that memory of Steve chucking the suitcase because of the elevator situation?
There you go.
But there, yes. So I guess that's what we'll call our camping from now on. But anyways, yes, there's that. But you also have the mansion rooms. And that boat to Disney Springs is, I think, awesome. I think it just really is. And people are like, boat, whatever. Everything's better on a boat, my friend.
Always. Especially that boat ride. You can see the tree houses.
Exactly. Yeah. All of it.
All right.
So they're all great.
Yeah, but I mean, the most deluxe, I'd say Coronado most deluxe Caribbean Beach second, if I had to guess. And it is, and to get to answer your question, yes, it is the poor man's Polynesian.
Yeah, we've literally named every.
I'm sorry, like I hijacked that.
Yes, it is the poor man's Polynesian.
Yes, boom. You're watching next.
William's always here, and he says, "I'm going to the world on Halloween this year. It's been on my bucket list to do and see the start of the change to Christmas. Is there any tips, tricks that you can pass on?" So he's going to be there for that switch over right at the end of Halloween. I guess he'll be there right at Halloween on the 31st and kind of hang out until Christmas arrives. Pam, have you been there? I've never been there for that switch over. Tips.
Yes. So I'm sorry, I totally missed the question.
Well, so William's going to be there for Halloween bucket list trip this year.
Okay.
But he's going to be there for the switch over to Christmas. So he's going to be there.
This is at World. Okay. Because I'm reading the other question that's down a little bit that's land. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It is. So there is this period of time between the last Halloween and the first Christmas party. And we're going to see that transition be more remarkable is at the Magic Kingdom. Because by the time that last Halloween party happens, they're taking down the decorations and they are going to be decorated for Christmas. You will not see it go like that at all the resorts and all the other theme parks. It just doesn't happen that quickly. It sort of happens over a period of time. Sometimes you won't even see some of them till after Thanksgiving or very close to Thanksgiving. So keep that in mind. You'll probably see lots of holiday merchandise that starts showing up fairly early. But yeah, the transition between the Magic Kingdom and is where you're going to see that big.
So I will say I kind of been paying attention to this too over the last few years, just, as I've been working on the master lesson, trying to get everything right for the site. And I've noticed, obviously, yes, the biggest transition, like Pam said, is going to be, of course, Magic Kingdom and into Christmas, Halloween into Christmas. And it will really depend on when the last Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party will end up being this year. So that's something to keep in mind as well, because they'll need to keep the Halloween decorations up later if they have like a Halloween party on the 1st, which sometimes they do. Sometimes they have, I think, even on the 2nd. It just kind of depends on how the calendar falls. So that's something to keep in mind. They typically try to have the holiday decorations up for sure at the Magic Kingdom. I mean, the Magic Kingdom, usually it's a quick turnaround in the sense of they want to have it up for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. That will usually be not the weekend immediately after Halloween, but the one after that. So there'll be kind of a transition slowly in that time period. I've noticed that Hollywood Studios lately has been putting up their Christmas decorations before Halloween, which is kind of weird. Yeah, they definitely have been. Like, I've seen the stars go up on, Sunset Boulevard, and Halloween still hasn't taken place, so you will see stuff there probably. Disney's Animal Kingdom is a little bit slower. That's usually in that week in between, the first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is their typically hard date for having all the Christmas decorations at the parks. And then, like Pam said, the resorts are a slow roll, but they've kind of moved up a little bit in time. So before, like Pam said, it used to be you may not see it until Thanksgiving. And now they kind of have moved it up a little bit so that people can enjoy those resorts a little bit earlier, except for, I think, the gingerbread house. I think that might be a little bit more closer towards Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving is when you'll see all the stuff really up for Epcot, because Epcot doesn't transition from food and wine until about the week. It usually ends about the week before Thanksgiving or so. And then they don't start Christmas until after Thanksgiving, because that's when they start Candlelight Processional. So that's kind of what I've noticed over the last couple of years since COVID, how Disney has kind of transitioned with the holiday decorations and stuff.
Sweet. And William says he'll be back in December, so I get to see the full-blown Christmas
there. There you go. That's good.
He's in there. All right. Amy's got a question in the inbox. Says, hello, I'm Amy from Baltimore. Love your podcast and listen all the time. My family's taking a very short trip to Orlando to see my college-age daughter play in her college softball spring break games. We're staying at a Disney Springs Good Neighbor area resort. I've been in this situation with cheerleading and do not have plans to visit the parks. So sad. I know. I snuck in because I had NATO pass. Nobody else did. I currently have dinner reservations at Boma for the last night of the trip and my daughter's birthday. I'm trying to decide what to do on a Sunday morning before road tripping to Charleston. I think it's about a 6-hour drive. I tried for homecoming reservations, but they're not available. So I booked at Olivia's upon hearing about so many good things on your podcast. I'm wondering, though, if we should consider using the time to wander around Disney Springs and get a quick service kind of breakfast at Disney Springs and soak in the Disney magic before a long car ride. If so, what quick service breakfast options are best to consider? My kids will be with us for breakfast, are 16 and 12. We'll have a car and are staying at the Drury Inn. Thank you. All the best, Amy. By the way, that Drury Inn is pretty nice because they're based out of Missouri. They started in Missouri. And one of the things Drury Inn has is what's called the kickback. I'm just saying. I always seek out Drury Inns when I'm on, because they are from Missouri and we have one here in St. Charles. And Scott, we use the kickback when he came to St. Louis. You get like free drinks and they have like really good food. It's like at 4:30 to like 6. And we took advantage of that and it was a good deal because of that. So I'm just saying. Anyway, back to the question at hand. Olivia's rocks. I hate to say not to go to Olivia's. I don't know. What would you do though? Because Olivia's has good breakfast. That'd fill your belly. That'd be good stuff. But then whoever's driving is going to get the sleepies. I would. I'm so tired right now. I'm just saying, if you put some the eggs and biscuits and all that in my belly right now, I'd be like, oh, there's no way I'm making it to Charleston. I'm probably not making it to Ocala. But I don't know. What I'm trying to think. So if they did go to Disney Springs, I get it. They want to get some Disney magic, soak up the atmosphere. I'm trying to think what's open for breakfast. Quick service.
Quick service is
Earl Sandwich is open.
That's my go-to. Yeah.
It is, but I don't think that's necessarily that fun.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's good though. Like it's quick and it's efficient.
It is good.
I went there every morning during Summit every year. Like I just walked right over to Earl and get my breakfast burrito.
Raglan Road is going to be available, and so that
means service though. I think.
No,
I can't think of anything quick service there anymore.
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anything else that does quick service breakfast.
The donut place does.
Oh yeah, donuts.
And, there is one other place. I'm trying to think what it is, and now, of course, the name.
Something down on like the west side. Is there anything down there besides the donut place?
Oh, you know what? I was thinking of another table service because at different times CityWorks
was what I was thinking of too.
Does a breakfast there. As far as a quick service there, that'll be hard. quick services at some of the resorts, maybe that it is something that you could do. But again, you will not primo Piata is what I would suggest, but you won't be able to go there because they are so restrictive in terms of,
Skyliner, yeah.
yep, they
If you're
are.
trying to get in to
You
get
won't
off.
be able to park there and go. So you'd have to, go to one of the Epcot or Disney's Hollywood Studios and take the Skyliner over. And that would be kind of a pain in the butt for sure. So think about that. Another place that does have decent quick service for breakfast, and it has the famous Tonga toast, is Captain Cook's. Again, parking can sometimes be an issue. There you will see many times when you're trying to, even if you try to order in advance, it will give you a warning that you are not able to order unless you're actually staying there. So see how that works out. Now, if you have table service reservations, they're always going to let you park there. And that's something that it may be worth it to you to consider a table service restaurant, just because then you'll be able to get to park at that restaurant or in that resort. So
I'll say keep trying for homecoming though. And plus trying for homecoming, they are looking for table service. So maybe, consider, some of those options around Disney Springs and just look around. Cause like Raglan Road would be a good breakfast.
It is a good breakfast. Yeah. They have a really good brunch type menu. And I think that's, kind of fun too. So yeah. Definitely.
But Olivia's is so good. I get it. You want the atmosphere of Disney Springs. I totally understand that because you go shopping and kind of, get the feel of it. But Olivia's is at a good value. And Old Key West has a Disney feel. Like if you're just looking to get some of that Disney feel, Old Key West just oozes it. So you'd like that. All right. Next question is from Paul here in the chat. He's on Facebook with us. Here is my opinion question for you guys. We haven't been in about a year. During 2022, we went 3 times. Leveraging our annual passes, going back down for a Riviera stay and hitting much more than Disney. Do we get a hopper and cram a bunch of parks in it? Hang on. Let's see. Do we, going back down for Riviera stay and hitting much more than Disney? Do we get a hopper and cram in a bunch of parks, or slow it down and just enjoy 1 or maybe 2 parks on our Disney day? The other parks will be SeaWorld and Universal. So do they try to cram it all in or slow it down? What do you think? Just kind of an opinion piece here for Paul. I always say slow it down and enjoy. I always go quality over quantity, if that's what he's asking.
True. Yeah, I think I would.
Person you are, though, I guess. It's
true. I mean, it depends on what they're wanting to hit too. Like if they're just wanting to do like a couple of the headliners, then they can absolutely cram that all in. But like you said, if you want to kind of take your time a little bit and enjoy it, then I would say definitely slow down and don't do the park hopper.
All right. Question from Kathy, heading out to the West Coast. Heading to Disneyland next month for the very first time. Oh, you're going to have fun. And by the way, they're putting in the Magic Band Plus scanners as you enter Disneyland. I don't know how I feel about that because I like Disneyland because it is one of the things, and I'm weird this way, but one of the things I've loved about Disneyland is the entrance to Disneyland and how old school it feels. I know it's not efficient, but like the cast members that work the entry, like they're just sitting there with like little phones. It's so cute. And like they take your picture the very first time you go through. I feel like it's so old, not dated. And I love it. That's one of the things I love about Disneyland. It's not world. Like they're so nice to you. They're like, hey, how you doing? It's not fast. It's so jammed up. But like once you get there, it's kind of fun. Like, hey, how you doing? It's usually an older person. I'm good. How are you? I got to take your picture. Okay. So I smile. You probably don't need to smile, and they, okay, cool. They scan your little thing. It takes forever. Now it's all about efficiency, man. They put in the things, boop, you hit your touch point. It's like Walt Disney World. Anyway, that's not her question. Heading to Disneyland for the first time next month. What's your favorite spot to watch the fireworks at Disneyland and World of Color at DCA? I'll tell you for World of Color, up on the rail, get wet. It's not World of Color unless you're getting wet. It's like a Gallagher concert where you get hit with water. I had my hood on last time when I was there, man. I got wet. I'm just saying, it was fun. No, I did though. I was on the rail for real. We were the very front row, but that's where I watched it. Okay, so the fireworks we watched, the fireworks for Disneyland on Main Street. Just
Yeah.
right there in front by the holiday shop.
I actually love to watch them back by It's a Small World. You
Yes,
actually
you can say
see
that.
the projections so much better than you can on the castle. For some reason, the show in particular, I think the projections are hard to see on the Disneyland castle. So that's something to consider. Plus, you don't have to stake out your spot quite as early if you go over to It's a Small World, and you get to see a lot of the stuff. And World of Color, I actually love the dessert parties there. You get a seat with some of them. So that's something to consider. They also have a World of Color dining package. If you were going to dine at one of those restaurants anyways, you may want to consider that. So that's where I like to be.
Rikki, do you have any preferences for?
I've definitely done the fireworks on Main Street, so that's kind of where I would suggest. However, do keep in mind that Disneyland is a little different with fireworks. So they don't happen every single night.
Nope.
They do tend to happen more on the weekends, and they can be canceled at the very last minute. So that's something to keep in mind as well. That happened to us when we were there one time. So you got your spot all staked out, and then you hear the announcement, today's fireworks are not going to take place, but we're going to continue with the Mickey's Mixed Mingle or something like that. So yeah, they usually will do the projection show.
They have like a crazy club show now. Like it's like Main Street turns into a club. It's crazy. It's wild.
And then exactly, and so you're like, oh, that's not what I sat here for all this time. So but
you can save it. You know how you save if the fireworks get canceled? You're on Main Street. You just immediately pull out the app. You mobile order Gibson Girl ice cream, and all is good because you can mobile order Gibson Girl ice cream. What? It's the best.
Yeah. Oh Agreed.
Mobile order, mobile scooper.
Can you imagine if they had mobile order though for the Main Street, the ice cream parlor on Main Street at Walt Disney World, dude? That place.
Oh, why not? Come on now. I'd be like Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams. Is this heaven? That's what I say every time I'm in Disneyland. Is this heaven? No, it's a Gibson Girl. Anyway, next question is from Emily. Hey, BOGP crew. We are traveling in July to Walt Disney World and wondering about magic bands. We're a family of 5 with 3 kids under 13. God bless you. We have old magic bands that we could use, but they're many years old at this point, 2019. We've used those for a few trips in recent years, and they probably still work for our upcoming trip. That being said, I'd like to get everyone a new band, but not quite sold on Magic Band Plus. I'm not opposed to Magic Band Plus, but the idea of having to charge 5 Magic Bands, 4 phones, 3 iPads, and a partridge in a pear tree,
right?
And a work computer every night makes my head hurt. Can you say?
Me too.
Lots of power strips.
Mm-hmm.
Do they still sell the old Magic Bands on Disney property? If not, any idea on how to charge that many devices as easily as possible? Thanks so much. Love listening to your shows as a way of connecting to Disney throughout the year. Thanks, Emily. Oh my, you are living my charging life. I am the charging czar when we get back.
He really is.
Nobody in my family charges anything, but in the morning they expect the charging fairy that everything's charged. Like, everybody in my family but me expects to roll out in the morning, walk to the bus, and everything's charged, but they fall asleep with everything sitting on the nightstand, and then they don't care to plug it in. They just expect the old to come and just like give them 100% juice. It doesn't work that way, people. You got to prep before you go to sleep. That's how it works. And that's my speech. If you stay in my room, that's what you're getting every night. That's me. So you got to have a plan. Everybody, before you brush your teeth, take out your contacts, whatever you do, floss. I don't care. I see Emily's a dentist, so flossing.
There you go. That's good.
Email address.
Appease the dentist. Appease the dentists.
I played in the audience here.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you got to have a mission. Like everybody, and these kids, you got to train them up young. You got to, hey, you don't plug in your iPad the night before. Guess what? It's dead the next day. It's life. You'll make it at Walt Disney World the day without your iPad. It's just how it's going to be. You're just going to have to party all day without electronics. No, I'm not kidding, but I'd bring a couple power strips because Disney's been really great though about the plugs and the situation in the rooms with all the USB outlets. Now they are going to have to start upgrading USB-C outlets. It happened
That's
quickly.
true. Yeah.
They have a lot of A's, but now there's a lot of C things. It's amazing how quickly that thing happens. But the question is, though, Ricky, can you buy Magic Bands that are not Plus anywhere? I haven't really. I'm not a big Magic Band person anymore. I just kind of use my phone.
That is a very good question, and I'm not 100% sure.
I actually looked last time we were here
Did
because
you?
we get this question from guests.
Good. I'm glad that you looked because I'm not sure.
There were very few options, if any, to buy the regular Magic Bands.
That's what I kind of expected.
Just about all of them were Magic Band Pluses, and at different resorts there weren't any Magic Band regular Magic Bands available. So I think one of the things you can do, though, is to bring like a USB chart, like one of the chargers with a lot of ports. They're actually really small. I mean, think about it. They're a deck of cards, basically, a little bigger than a deck of cards. If you bring 2 of those, then you're going to be set with things like that. And that will really help. That's what we do when we go. We take something like that with us. So.
Yep. So Mallory, like we've gotten her, and again, she's the worst offender of all this. I mean, like right now, I'm probably getting an alert on my Apple Watch because my blood pressure is going up. Because just thinking of her with charging electronics just drives me
understandable
crazy. Because she'll be like, "Dad," I get the text all the time. "Dad, can you?" Because she'll like go from like she'll have a cheer game. Thank God cheer's over for right now for like 2 weeks, but she'd always be like, "We got a game tonight. Can you bring my charger?" I'm like, "Yeah." But it's dead because you didn't plug the charger in because you gotta. It doesn't help.
Doesn't work out. Yeah, exactly.
Like the charger isn't gonna magically get juice. You got to plug that in to get juice too. It's the whole thing. But she has one that is like a little credit card, right? We've gotten her like 10 of them, like to try to solve this problem. But she doesn't charge. It's like a one-use thing, like. You got to plug it in to get more juice when you come home. Like if you use it, plug it in at night. It'll be fine. And then put it back in your purse or your gym bag or whatever, your cheer bag, whatever it is. Anyway, Anchor's a good company to get them from. The good deals on Amazon all the time. Great quality. And they're always on sale. Anchor, A-N-K-E-R. That's a good product. Get those and for the kids. But I will say, here's the good news about Magic Band Plus, which you may not know. You don't have to charge them. If you don't charge your Magic Band Plus, it'll still open your room and it'll still get you in the park. Like the only thing your Magic Band Plus won't do if you don't charge it is all the cool stuff, like light up and do all the dancing and all the fancy stuff. But if it's dead as a doornail, it still works as a Magic Band.
It does.
People might not know that, but
yeah.
I mean, I charge mine every night because I am like the charging police, but if you don't charge it, it still works as a regular Magic Band.
You got to designate one person as the charger.
I know, right? That's what I think they think Mike is. He's the charger, but he's like, nope, I'm all on my own.
But then you got to be like, then give me your device.
True.
Like
I am. But I mean, it's just like I can't sleep if it is like. I mean, there's a little glow in our room every night. We have so many devices like charging. It's like there's a hum. It's like
it is. We just bring the brick in like with all the different ports, and they all go in there, so it's all good.
And see, Diane didn't know that your Magic Band Plus still works when it's dead because Diane charges her devices, which I'm glad you don't know that, Diane, because you're doing it right.
Right.
You have to know that. But yes, they do work when they're dead. But they should never get dead because you charge your devices the correct way. Yes.
100%.
Shout out to Diane. You get a bell and you get a horn. There you go. Thank you for being a charger. All right, we're ducking out of here because my blood pressure is so high right now. I need to go take a walk. All right. So if you have a question, send them in, Mike at BeOurGuestPodcast.com. We'll get that on the next show. And on Friday, I need to do something a little less stressful. So guess what we're doing? Straight from our Discord channel. We're talking about the best Mexican food and apps, best Mexican on property. In some of these places you might not think about. And Lord knows when you're on Walt Disney World, you got to have Mexican at some point. I mean, multiple times. We're talking about
like a staple. Yeah.
I mean, 5 times a week for me. Not probably so much for everybody else, but you got to have it. So we're talking about that on Friday. Speaking of Discord, The Discord has been just hopping, over 500 listeners of the show hanging out over there. Come on over, beourguestpodcast.com. Just go down to the widgets and just look for the join the Discord. By now, we probably have the URL. Just go to beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. I'm working on that. So check that out. That should work. And come over and join us. But don't forget, our show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure. And adventure is out there, and we want to help you embrace that adventure. Whether it's to Walt Disney World for some chips and guac, Disneyland, Rancho del Zocalo, baby. That's all I have to say. That's why I go to Disneyland. If you're on the Disney Cruise Line, guess what? The Disney Wish.
Mm-hmm.
Festival of Flavors.
Yep.
Yes. There's Mexican on that ship.
There is.
And Adventures by Disney. You can go to Mexico. I'm just saying, the real thing. I've connected it all. I make connections.
No.
That's what I do in the ad read. We can get you there. You can go to Spain. We could do this all day, people. But the best part is with working with the Magic for Less, no cost to you, and you get great ad reads like this every single week in first class service. Better service than these ad reads. Check out the
Clearly,
I made the owner snort. Look at that. I did it.
Oh no, she's going, what did I get myself into?
Yes. Woohoo! So there you go. The Magic for Less. Book your trip today. We're going to take awesome care of you. I promise you. We can't send chips and guac in the mail, but I promise you if I could, I would. All right. Also, we have our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com. Even when you buy a digital photo frame that didn't work, we appreciate it because I bought one this weekend and I shook it and
no.
I'm sending it back and they're sending me a new one. So I'll let you know how that works out. Pam even spent an hour and a half with it and almost killed me because I gave it to her and she couldn't get it to work. But we're working with it. So Amazon or beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon and our patrons. Thank you so much for that. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You get that bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. It was a fun one this week. I'm telling you, it made you think. It was a thinker. It's coming over. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on social media. Pam's at Rikki. Pam's
That's
at TMFLT Pam. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike at all these social media places. And Sunday night, we'll have our live call-in show. We had record numbers last week. It was incredible. And we were going up against the Oscars, people. So
you went up against Ryan Gosling singing I'm Just Ken. I mean,
I'm not singing I'm Just Mike. And
he mic dropped that. I'm just telling you. Mic drop, former MMC, former Mickey Mouse Club.
More people than ever were tuned into us, and we're having the best time ever. So Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all the places, Instagram. Come join us and give us a call. We had a blast. We're gonna do it again this Sunday night. All right, so we'll be back in on Friday talking Mexican at Walt Disney World. Oh my gosh, my two favorite things. So come on over. If we had football on the TV, it's the trifecta. So here we go. We're going to have a good time on Friday. So join us for that. So until then, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. That was fun. Let's do it again. Let me take this one and EP.
I'm Just Ken stuck in my head. I'm Just Ken.
Episode 4.
I didn't even watch.
Oh, I only watched that. And that's because I don't have I have a satellite dish, and my satellite dish and my ABC channel don't play nice together. So I haven't had ABC for like 2 years. So I watch everything on Hulu because that's on ABC because I don't have ABC. So I didn't get to watch it at all last night. And finally somebody shared the video of I'm Just Ken because that's all I cared about anyway. So I watched that. It was fantastic. So he did a really good job. I mean, he got his start with Justin Timberlake on the Mickey Mouse Club. I'm just saying, there's some great videos of the two of them together, doing skits and performing musical acts and stuff like that. Like they did a fantastic job together when they were kids. So you might want to just go look it up. So it's somewhere on the internet. The internet is a great, vast place for old Mickey Mouse Club, clips. I'm just saying, you might want to go find it.
For sure. Nothing ever dies if it's on the internet.
No, this is true. And a lot of things are going on the internet now. So
I don't watch the Oscars because I don't watch the movies, so I have no idea what's going on.
Of course you don't watch movies. I mean, I haven't seen much this year, but Yeah, it's
All righty, ready. Here we go. Oh man, that made me so hungry. Okay, here we go. So this is 24:53. 41, and here we go. Welcome to episode 2453 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend, and we are definitely doing that here on the Be Our Guest Podcast because guess what? We're celebrating a birthday. And we're doing that because we're going to have a great topic today for you. We're going to have a practical topic. We're going to have a topic that hits me so much in the feels that we had to do this on a milestone show. So today we are celebrating 16 years.
Woo.
16 years. Our little podcast can go out there and try to get its driver's license.
Woo.
It can do all those things like drive over curbs.
Yes.
Bump into fire hydrants.
Correct.
Like not exactly know how to, like when the yellow blinky turn light turns, not really know that it's, you got to wait. You don't get to go yet. Yeah, no, wait. That means you got to yield. Like, can you tell I have a 16-year-old driver in the house? She has her full-on license. So I don't ride with her much anymore. She drives everywhere. She got her own car. She drives by herself. God, I mean, it scares me to death every time she leaves the house. Because when I used to ride with, she drove us home from the Mexican restaurant just the other day. She's like, I'll drive. I was like, okay. Whew. Wasn't pretty, but you know, she's been getting to school and all over the place, all over God's earth to work and back and forth with her own little car. But it's just one of those things. Our little podcast, I hope it's puts its seatbelt on and gets out in the world and has a good time. 16 years of shows since the middle of March of 2008. We've been bringing you the podcast, and we thank you so much for supporting us. But today, we thought we'd have fun. Mexican food at Walt Disney World. Apps, chips and guac, margaritas. Let's talk about it. It's the weekend. So Ricky's joining me from down in the mouseforless.com and DisneyWorldAfterAll.com. Down in Atlanta. What's up, Ricky? This is my third show in a row. What's up?
It's fine. It's all good. Yeah, no, just ready for this weekend. So it's supposed to be nice here, I think. So we're going to have a nice time and enjoy a little bit of maybe sun and not fun. I mean, maybe a little bit of fun. I don't know. It's just going to be a good weekend. So you got St. Patrick's Day this weekend. So, I mean, I feel like something fun will happen. I will not be cooking corned beef and cabbage though, because I do not like either of those things. Those things.
I love that stuff.
So maybe a shepherd's pie. I do like shepherd's pie. Well, actually, I guess technically I make cottage pie because I use ground beef instead of lamb. But yeah, maybe a cottage pie.
We're celebrating St. Patrick's Day on the live call-in show Sunday night. Scott said he's going to have a green beer. I don't drink beer, but I'm going to have a margarita. So come
hey, there you go. We're tying it all back in. Margarita's green. St. Patrick's Day. We're doing Mexican food today. There we go.
It's green. I mean, it's a green drink. And, you know, it'll be fun because it's a drinking day, you know, even though it's not, you know, Irish. But anyway, also joining us, we have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester, who I've shared many a margarita with. What's going on?
I know. How does a margarita get to be for St. Patrick's Day?
It's green. I mean, it was a green drink.
I see. Right. It's the color. It's the color factor, not the.
I was thinking about that after I said it. I sounded like a fool on Sunday night.
Not the origin or country of origin for the drink or anything like that. It's just whether the margarita was actually, you know, created there or not. Who knows? But anyways, yes. Okay, I see. It's the green factor.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, I really was more thinking I just like margaritas. So
yeah, of course.
So, it'll be a good podcast, I think, with a beer and a margarita.
Probably. I mean, yeah, who knows? I mean, we try every week. I mean, we fail, you know, 72% of the time, but we always give it a good try.
Well, there's no place to go but up. Well, there is. Let's just say going up.
Numbers last week.
Right.
I mean, it was wild. It was great, and we're hoping for that again. You know, at least 2 or 3 of the people come back this Sunday. So.
There you go.
That's good. Yes, you and Scott will both be there, so you already have 2.
Well, I mean, I'll be there for sure. Scott, he should be there. As long as his round of golf goes well. If he plays Sunday, we'll see. But yeah, he'll be there. It'll be a good time. So let me ask you. We're going to talk Mexican food, but before we do that, 16 years of shows. We appreciate everybody hanging with us that long. 16 years.
I don't even know what to say about that. We were talking about that before and said that people, there are a lot of podcasts out there that don't even do 10% of the shows that we do.
Yes.
On whatever. And I understand why, they're, doing 45 to 50-minute podcast requires 3 days of research, and they're providing all this useful information, and maybe they aren't, winging it like we do 80% of the time. So that's my advice to new podcasters.
Just wing it.
Just wing it. Just wing it.
I like it.
No, but yeah.
Yeah. So here we go. And this is again coming from our Discord, because we have a thread in our Discord, which again, hopefully by now you can just go to beourguestpodcast.com/Discord, because I'm working on that. But if not, just go to beourguestpodcast.com, scroll down to the widgets, and join our Discord if you have it, because that conversation is going on all the time and it is awesome. But so come on over. But let's talk about. So let's knock out the very obvious places to go for Mexican at Walt Disney World, because there's some obvious places. This actually came across because we have a thread that, for show suggestions, and it was over there on the Discord, but also because Scott is going down next week and he booked an ADR to place a Mexican restaurant, mind you, at Walt Disney World that I had never heard of. And I was offended. I was like, whoa, a Mexican restaurant I've not heard of. And we'll talk about that in just a second.
Okay.
So my first one, that's Captain Obvious. Let's do our Captain Obvious picks. My first Captain Obvious, Maya Grill. It's a top 3 restaurant for me. Coronado Springs, always solid. Smooth jazz, played live. Love that guy. Great fajitas, great chips and guac, great margarita flight. For a while, they had a funky menu there for a few years, but it's kind of back to the menu that I like. Margarita flights, tequila flights. It's very easy to get an ADR there. It's a solid restaurant. It's not super expensive. It's really got it all going on. I go to My Grill all the time. It's great restaurant. Good food. So I like My Grill. That's my Captain Obvious. We're not going to spend a ton of time on these, but Rikki, give your Captain Obvious.
Hello, San Angel Inn at Epcot in the Mexico Pavilion. I mean, how else does it get any better? It's delicious Mexican food. It's a little bit different than what I think most people are used to. And I think that there's some people off, but it's still really good if you're okay with trying different kinds of Mexican food. That's not just the standard kind of Mexican food that you see on every corner, basically. It's really good. I mean, who else doesn't love having a attraction float past you as you're dining? I mean, it's fantastic. You get to dine in the dark. I mean, some people don't like that. It is definitely a little difficult to see in there. Not going to lie. Even, it's just, you might need a cell phone or candle near you to see a little bit, but it's the ambiance of the whole place that really sells the whole thing. So I love San Angelo, and I think it's a great choice if you're looking for a Mexican restaurant.
I agree. And you know what? I think that's everybody's kind of first. Well, maybe not anymore though. Maybe it's because we're so old, like we were drawn in by the Birnbaum's Guide. Is the Birnbaum's Guide even a thing anymore?
Yes. They still make it. They still make it.
Do you think people come in that way? I think people come in more like through podcasts and blogs.
Nowadays, yeah, I'm sure, but they still make it. So, yeah. I mean, there's somebody rating it.
My restaurants that I came into, like on my first trip, were like San Angelo and Sci-Fi. It was all the visual ones. They had the big pictures of like 50s Prime Time. Trying to think the ones that I saw like pictures. I'm like, oh God, I got to eat there because
definitely Chef Mickey's. Chef Mickey's was always in there.
Yep, yeah, Chef Mickey's. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Okay, Pam. Okay, so we got Maya Grill, San Angelo checked off. Let's go Captain Obvious picks.
So my Captain Obvious pick is La Cava. It just is. And some may say that this doesn't really have food, so you couldn't do even a meal there. But I will tell you, I've done many a meal there.
Just on alcohol. No, I'm just joking.
No, I absolutely get the drink, but then we also they have the trio of the queso, the guac, and the salsa. And
Yeah.
for my family, I say that is definitely a good meal. So we'll check that off the list. And I love the guac is really good. Like it's really good guac. And I'm picky with the guac that I like. This is just your standard guac, right? It doesn't have anything crumbled over the top of it, Mike. There's no weird add-ons. There's nothing like that.
Well, we were down there for Marathon Weekend. We were there with Wade and Scott and all their families and stuff, and we stood around and actually we had that. We had all the guac, we had all the queso. We had like 2 rounds. Dude, I probably ate like the equivalent of a bag of Tostitos. Like no kidding, because we were drinking. And when I drink, I eat a lot. And so Hilda actually came out and talked to us. Like we were talking to Hilda.
Hilda's great. She's like a rock star.
Oh yeah, she was talking to like Wade and Scott and all of it. And so Scott almost bought this thing. It was like this sphere. It was like he bought a drink that had an ice cube in it, but then you could buy the ball for like $50. But finally he didn't. But I know how they get you, because they get you on the tequila first, and then you're gonna buy this like $50 sphere that's really just like an ice cube thing. I was like, dude, don't buy that. You don't need that. We can do with it when you get home. It's like a glass ball. It's like a glorified ice cube. But he wanted it. What you can do with that? We walk out of here, dude. You've had too many drinks. Stop. Don't buy it. It was after Hilda left, though. We were being nice when she was there. But she was really cool. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that guac and the queso is rocking there. But I mean, I wouldn't call it a meal, but it was a very good app. It's in the atmosphere in there rocks.
I think too, the salsa I really enjoy because it has like some heat to it. Yeah. And you know how sometimes you get a salsa and you're like, I feel like I'm just eating like crushed tomatoes that may have a pepper or 2 in there, and that's about it. Like this is legit, and it's not too hot, but I feel like there's a smokiness to it. Like it's real. You can tell I've had this many times because I've thought about it often. I'm like, why do I like this salsa so much? And then I'll, it gives you, after a couple drinks, you can pontificate on many subjects. So
and this is one of them.
Yes. And of course the queso. Hello, queso.
Now, if they could take this and sell it outside of that restaurant and just, like I said, Disney, put in a chip and dip place inside the Mexican pavilion, you got $1 million idea. I'm just saying.
But the atmosphere sells it. It's so cool in there in the atmosphere. Like that. It's the cave, right? You put me in a cave anytime, and it's like 100 times better. Like the quaintness of this place sells.
It is. Yes, that's what makes it special. I think
it is special. Yeah.
And right now during Flower and Garden, they have kind of a tequila tasting experience you can book, which is sounding really cool. It sounds very much like what they do on Cruise Line, which, by the way, on my Disney Fantasy Cruise, 2 times. I just did my online check-in this past week. I got 2 tequila margarita tastings.
Nicely done.
But I don't have my wingman. I'm a little worried because my wingman's not going on this cruise. You'll
have Paige.
I will have Paige. Yeah.
That's true.
That could be trouble because she is not my wingman. So we'll see how that goes. And I did a martini because Pam loved the martini. That was fancy. We did that with Cheryl. Cheryl's in our chat with, by the way. Hi, Cheryl. And I had no idea what a martini was, but
and then we'll show you that they don't all get made with vodka or gin. There's other martinis. So.
Who knew? I don't
Who knew?
Those things were tasty too. We enjoyed this. We're gonna do that again. Maybe Cheryl can come on the fantasy with us. July 6th, Cheryl. We're gonna see you in Port Canaveral. So Cheryl actually brings up the restaurant that I didn't know existed that Scott's going to, that I am so curious about. Now, Ricky, I don't know if you can pull this menu and maybe talk about what is offered, but it's a restaurant called Rosa Mexicana, and it's over at the Dolphin. Now, I'm guessing, Pam, this is a brand new experience over at the Dolphin because, again, never heard of it. But
newish.
Scott showed pictures of this place, and I'm like, this is just calling my name. I mean, the ocean calls to Moana in Rosamund. I'm just saying, like, I need to go to this place. I'm scared to talk about it too much, but we're all friends here.
We're good. We're good. Yeah.
We're large, so it
is, and I've heard lots of good.
It's walkable, right? It's very easy to get to from a lot of restaurants or a lot of resorts. You can take the Skyliner, walk from all the Crescent area or the Epcot Air Resort. So Pam, talk about it.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, which is, I think that's part of, the whole thing. It's open actually for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Oh,
I know. But the breakfast menu has more typical items on it, but you're going to find there's like a buffet there that has like chorizo and things like that. So they're going to have guacamole, believe that. So that's a good thing. And a few, I think, things that are more like Mexican inspired, like a tres leches, oats, which I think is interesting. And of course, they're going to have chilaquiles and things like that. So lots of good stuff there. But I've heard good things about the food. I've looked at it a couple times. Their dinner menu has some really interesting options. It is not just your typical Tex-Mex restaurant.
No.
It has a lot of different things. And I think that is probably why it's getting so many good reviews out there on the social medias. And Disney folks are very critical. They like what they like.
Yeah.
They like what they like. So
They do.
And apparently it is a chain because William says they have a couple where he lives, which it's okay if there's only just one there because it is a dolphin. It's, so they can see where it's a chain, but he says tableside guac.
That's what I've heard the most about. Yes, for sure. The tableside guac.
Apparently, I think they have one here in Atlanta. I may have to go.
Oh my gosh. And Cheryl said the portions were large and the food was really good.
Oh, maybe they don't. Never mind.
Oh man, so it's a good option. I mean, it's large. I mean, you're speaking all my language. Tableside guac, large portions, good food, and
they have them in New York. There's one in Vegas, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey. They have one in Pennsylvania, but where's Ardmore? Pam?
I don't think it's near me.
Probably not. No. So anyway, it's definitely a chain. It's kind of those things like we didn't know that the restaurant at the boardwalk that closed recently was a chain, and then I looked it up and it was totally a chain, but it only had one other restaurant. So
you mean Big River?
Big River, yeah. It was a chain.
It was part of a chain. It is part of a chain.
Yes.
Yeah, it's part of a restaurant group, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think they had another Big River, but they had other.
They did. There was one other one. I looked it up when I was researching, and there was one other Big River. I forgot which city it was in, but yeah, there was another Big River. So
they have a bunch of other different restaurants though too. So yeah, it's weird.
Okay, so let's mention some places where you can pick up some Mexican options that you might kind of need to think outside the box. So one I'm going to mention, we mentioned this on Wednesday, Sleeper Place, Rick's.
Oh yeah.
Bar and Grill at Coronado. So you can get some like nacho. There's like a nacho burger. There's like a kind of a burger that's got kind of a Mexican flair to it. They have like a nacho platter because it is kind of a sports bar, right? That's the whole thing. So if you look at their app platter, they're going to have some like Mexican options there. So Rick's, if you're looking for just some, if you want to get like a drink and some Mexican kind of app feel, Rick's is a place you could go and grab.
And I think they actually do themselves a disservice by calling themselves a sports bar. I'm just going to say this because for a while I actually did not go because I was like,
I don't want to go to a sports bar.
That cracks me up. But when you say that, I'm the total opposite. When they say that, I'm like, God bless America. It's a sports bar. I want to go there. Like you are like me. I love that though. It's about perception.
I know, but I thought it would be like something like I could find like a chain I could find anywhere. But they do have loaded nachos, Mike. They have guachos, which I think are always a fantastic option. As far as, like Mexican inspired stuff, I don't know about that, but they, I think that's the thing that makes it interesting is they did have a few things that were sort of inspired. Like they had a horchata latte, which, horchata is a Mexican sort of, it's not cream because it's actually made with rice, but it's something that people who can't drink milk can drink. So I'm very familiar with the horchata and things like that. So the nachos and like you said, there some burgers and the chicken sandwich had like guac or avocado on it or something. So yeah, I think that is a good option.
I had a burger that was kind of Mexican, like it had a Mexican burger and it was super tasty. Like I remember having that watching a football game. I don't know if they have it anymore. Okay, Ricky, where's another place maybe you find a sleeper Mexican dish?
Well, I mean, it's probably not super sleeper, but it is a place where you can go to get some sort of Mexican dish, and that is going to be at Pecos Bills. which is at the Magic Kingdom in Frontierland. And the reason why it's kind of a nice option is because they do have some, Mexican inspired dishes. But they also have a few things that, maybe for those who don't want something like that. So they got something for everybody in a way, the whole family. So they have a fajita platter, and then they have a chicken rice bowl, and they have a pork carnitas rice bowl. But then they also have, and they have a taco trio, pork carnitas, nachos. So they have like the basics, but then, they have a double bacon barbecue cheeseburger, and just a regular bacon cheeseburger, and a regular cheeseburger, and then salads. So they have other things as well. If for, those who are, looking for something just for everyone, the entire family, I feel like it's a really good choice.
And over on the Discord, not to tell you about the Discord too much, but EMP, I believe, who lives over in Europe, says, I know this isn't universally popular, but we've always enjoyed Pecos Bills. The rice bowls are decent.
The rice bowls are good.
Compared to the other Magic Kingdom quick service, I reckon, like I said, I reckon Pecos Bills is a solid choice. It's better with the salad sidebars, but it's still our favorite in our family. And he's spelled favorite, so I can tell by the way he spelled favorite, he's in Europe.
Nice. I do miss the the toppings bar that they had, though. That was definitely a thing that I wish they would bring back. I just want to say Universal has a toppings bar at I think it's in the Jurassic Park section, at the Burger Digs or something like that. So I mean, they brought it back at Universal. I'm just saying, come bring the topping bar back at Pecos Bills, please.
Yeah, they also have VO5 and Zest, and
they sure do.
We're not talking about that today. So, and I used that the other day because Ben sent me some, and it came in clutch when I ran out of shampoo the other day.
Nice.
So I smelled like the 70s all day, and it was awesome. I felt like Jack Tripper. He also says sleeper hit ABC commissary tacos studios.
Yeah, actually, my brother's had those. He said they're really good. So
there you go. From the Discord, you live and you learn. Okay, Pam, give us another place to get some Mexican around property.
So this is actually back in Epcot, and I know we mentioned San Angel and La Cava, but the La Hacienda is actually sitting there on the water. It is, I think, more upscale than the San Angel Inn in terms of the food that they're going to offer. But we've had some good meals there, and it's definitely, if you get the right seating, a great place to watch the nighttime show at Epcot. It really is. But again, they're going to have guacamole and other things like that as appetizers, queso fundido, those kind of things. But they also have more traditional house specialties that are not going to be your typical taco, burrito, refried beans, blah, blah, blah. They have like osso buco, and they put a Mexican twist on that. They have a carne asada. They have some fish dishes, all kinds of things like that. So if you're looking for something that maybe a little more authentic than some of the other options, I think La Hacienda is going to be one of the places that you want to check out.
I agree. They have really good food at La Hacienda. I've always, ever since it opened, that place has probably been open. Has it been open a decade at this point, at least?
Oh,
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Because
I remember when it was new, but I mean, I bet you it's been a decade at this point.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it's good because I mean, it was kind of when it opened, I felt like it was kind of the fancy Mexican restaurant, but I don't know. Like, I think perceptions change. I don't know if it's fancy. You fancy Mexican?
I don't think it's fancy.
Is it fancier than San Angel Inn?
Yeah,
No.
I would say yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
The food is, you think?
Yes, I think it's more I don't know what the word is. It's more upscale. Yes, you're right. Than San Angel. Yes, for sure. I feel like San Angel sort of leans toward, I will not say it's like a Mexican restaurant in a box kind of feel, but it's going to have like your traditional sides and things like that. When you look at La Hacienda, it's going to have more Mexican inspired. And I think the food is more fresh and different interpretations. That's what I would say.
Let me ask you this. Okay, here's the deal. So, because I have another pick, but let me ask you this. This is kind of I'm curious where you guys will both fall on this. So Disney gifts you a meal tonight, either San Angel Inn or La Hacienda. Now, La Hacienda has probably, I'm guessing you would say, the better food, but San Angelo Inn, I would guess, has the better atmosphere. I would argue has a better atmosphere. Ricky, which one are you going to pick? Where are you going to go?
That really is tough.
'Cause I feel like in San Angelo, like I can eat Mexican food. Like I eat Taco Bell twice a week. I mean,
Right.
and I love Mexican food, so it doesn't. I'm not a huge quality kind of person.
Well,
when
of course.
I'll eat anything, but in San Angelo, like it's so dark in there. I can't really tell what I'm eating. Like I mean,
get that, yeah.
the pride is like put some like Taco Bell and like put red sauce on top, and I would never know.
I think I'm gonna go with La Hacienda. The menu definitely looks really delicious. And also I haven't eaten there. It's one of the places that I haven't been to yet. So I think I'm gonna go there. Plus you get to eat, you can eat kind of sometimes by the water because they do have some seating that's next to the water. So I'm gonna go there this time.
I've been to both multiple times, and man, it's a really tough call for me. Pam, what did you say?
I'm going to La Hacienda. I just think that the food that I had there has been better. And it just has even a more fresh interpretation of something that you may have had somewhere else. They actually and they still have it. It's like a little platter that's like for two that has a bunch of little things on it. I always, thought that was kind of good. It has like shrimp, fish, scallops, and then it has like esquites and tortillas and vegetables and things like that. So I like that. I think it's really good. I remember the carne asada being really good too. So I think it just has a different interpretation of a lot of foods that we might be used to.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So Cheryl's also, here's the thing. Now, if you've ever followed Cheryl, our good friend, she runs all the races with us on the BRGS Podcast Lizards. She lives in probably the most beautiful place on the planet. Like when she posts pictures of where she lives, it is so not fair. Like, I mean, picture The Sound of Music, and I've not really seen the whole thing because it's a musical, and I don't watch musicals at all, but I've seen parts of it, and the Julie Andrews or whoever that is like singing on that one part where it's like a meme and there's mountains all around her and stuff. Like that's where she lives. Like it's beautiful. It's like the most beautiful thing you'll ever see. Like I've seen Amazing Race and like we go to these beautiful places. That's where Cheryl lives. It's unreal. Anyway, she says though, and this is a crime. She says, I've always had my eye on Mexican food because it's very hard to get Mexican food in Europe.
Oh,
great. I would leave. I could not deal with that. Anyway, so she's always looking for Mexican food over here. And she mentions the new place in Disney Springs, which is in the marketplace, back in that corner, kind of by Earl of Sandwich. It's called Eat.
Yeah, it definitely has.
But now it's Indian, but they have
that has more of an Indian flair.
Tried it?
I haven't yet. It's on my list. But there are two places that you can go at Disney Springs if you are looking for Mexican food. The first is Frontera Cocina, which is by Chef Rick Bayless, which is very good.
That place a lot.
Yes, it's very good. They have
expensive.
Yes, it can be. Sometimes.
Yeah, no, it can be. It is expensive.
Okay, I was trying to put lipstick on a pig with that one, but that's fine. Yeah.
Why you call me a pig? And I'm not wearing lipstick either, so whatever. Punk. Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm calling it what it is. I mean, it's super good food, but it's expensive.
Okay, yes, you're right. It is not cheap. I'm not gonna lie. It's not cheap. It's expensive. It's very expensive. Okay, I like, but delicious. So there's that. And then the other place is somewhere. Now this one is a sleeper, and I don't think that people think of it because I honestly hadn't thought of it until I kind of looked it up. And that is Four Rivers Cantina, which is actually, it's called 4R Cantina. It's actually a food truck. And they have a taco cone, a birria, I can't say it. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Tacos, they have quesadillas, they have street tacos, they have a burrito bowl, they have a cantina trio. So they have, for their meats, they have biscuit barbacoa, chicken tinga, adobo pork, tri-tip steak, or roasted sweet potato for those who are vegetarian. So I still haven't tried this food truck, and it sounds delicious. So I think I need to go there because, yeah, that looks really good. It looks like a really good menu.
I've not tried that food truck either. I see. I need to try stuff like that. I skip the food trucks. I
usually do too. Except for I loved the food truck that was the it was the cookie dough food truck back in the day that they used to have. Oh,
agreed.
I would be there every trip. No joke. I would make a trip to Disney Springs just to get the cookie dough.
Right. How could that have possibly gone away? This is my question.
Who
doesn't want cookie dough?
I agree with you, Pam. Why did they take away the cookie dough food truck? They made a huge mistake. Bring it back.
It was a huge mistake. And like they needed to not offer like for after a while they were like cookie dough tacos and cookie dough. I'm like, no. just put a scoop of cookie dough in a bowl and hand it out to people.
Seriously, like scoop cookie dough in little bowls and just take our money. I mean, dude,
exactly. Step one, scoop
my cookie dough.
Put it in the bowl. Yeah. Step 3, hand it. Step 4, take our money.
$10. Yeah, it costs you $2. Take $10 and make $8 every time.
You do it. Right. Exactly. It's $2.
Be a millionaire in 6 months. I mean,
yes, exactly.
It's not hard.
I'm gonna start hanging out by Disney Springs, having pre-scooped already. As people drive by.
What's up with the crazy lady with the scoops of
why a little sign?
Podcast. We could be millionaires just scooping
cookie dough.
I mean, that could be the Pillsbury Doughboy. You can just push my belly.
Exactly.
Cheryl says, by the way, they have cheap margaritas on Mondays at Frontier Katrina. But what are we doing? We record podcasts on Mondays.
Yes. Cheryl, that seems mean to tell us that. We can't go right now.
Dang it. Stupid podcast. It's killing me. Okay, so speaking of Disney Springs, though, I would imagine, I haven't looked because a huge menu, but places like Splitsville, I'm sure, has some Mexican flair on their menu.
I'm sure.
I've also seen in the chat, Jock Lindsay's has tacos.
They do. They have a few different kinds of tacos.
So that's an option. So where else could we go around property to get some Mexican food, though? Missing anything? I'm trying to think. We got Pecos Bills.
Check.
Is there really anything at Animal Kingdom?
I don't think so.
It seems like someone would have a nacho.
I mean, yeah, you'd think, but I can't think of anything else.
South American like connection or like Spain, Mexico, nothing there though. At Animal Kingdom, they would have the connection that I could think of.
It's true. I can't think of anything that would really fit that mold at Animal Kingdom. That's sad. They should really have something there that has the Mexican flair to it. That's disappointing. Nachos at Yak and Yeti, yeah, but that's hard to get into, to be honest. So I can't.
Is that the counter service? Because there's a counter.
No, that's the actual table service restaurant. Yeah, I really can't think of anything at Animal Kingdom. That's really sad.
Speaking of our 16-year anniversary, remember when Debbie used to always talk about the green beans at Yak and Yeti?
Yes, this is true.
I loved
those green beans.
I love those green beans. Yes, she did.
Yes.
All the time.
Oh man, she loved
oh my gosh, I haven't thought about those in years. Thanks for bringing it up again, man.
That totally just hit me. If you've been with us all those times, you know.
You do know.
Trying to think because we only got a couple minutes left.
You got
I was wondering if like Flame Tree had anything.
No, they don't.
That's barbecue.
We didn't mention the quick service at the Mexican Pavilion, the cantina.
Oh, the cantina, yeah. And there's usually at every every festival there is something there is something there. Plus you have the margarita stand outside of the Mexican Pavilion. So
of course.
No food, but if you would like to have a frozen margarita or things like that, you can have that.
That's true.
I'm just going to add Cheryl to this show because she's coming up with all
Cheryl, you've done all the Mexican food looking
research. Yes.
She's got nachos at Whispering Canyon and those nachos that are rocking
those are really good.
Over at Captain Cook's, which are on those. What are their kettle?
They're like wonton chips and kettle chips. Yeah, they're good.
Really good. If you've never had those, really, because they're a different kind of chip and they got kind of they're so tasty.
They used to be a sweet potato chip under there too.
Those are so good.
That was really good too. I missed the sweet potato chip.
So I'm trying to think. I don't want to close the show out till we kind of think about like where else you could get. I mean, obviously margaritas are going to be on the menu all over the place.
I mean, obviously, you have oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the restaurant in the middle of Coronado.
See, Cheryl's got you. She's already got Three Bridges. Bam.
Three Bridges. That's exactly what I was about to say. I was like, what is the name of the restaurant? Yeah, Three Bridges. Yeah, that's a really good choice as well. And I know Pam has done. They have a sangria class that you can take there as well.
I've done it a couple times. I graduated, have a graduate degree.
Professor,
That's right.
Yes. I know. I really don't get. They should have me come more often because I'd be willing to teach as often as necessary. But yes. Yeah. And that's fun. And I love that you can reserve it now. Like it's actually something you can make an ADR for.
I saw that online recently when I was doing some research. I said, oh my gosh, you can now book this online, which is fantastic. Yeah. Although I'm sure it makes it so much harder to get into now at this point because who wouldn't want to do Sangria University?
I know. It's fun. It's definitely worth doing. You actually have a sort of corn dip with it. So when you go through it, they do give you a little food so that you're not sucking down all of these sangrias without any food in your stomach. And it's worth doing for sure.
Well, I mean, teachers require a lot of professional development. So I would, get that and count that.
Does that count? Do you get CEU credits for that?
I'd submit that to my administration. They'd be like, what's sangria? You like what?
Right.
Is that accredited? I'd be like,
you could be like, it's not sangria like you're thinking of it. No, it's sangria.
No, that's a college down south.
Right. Yes.
Look it up.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, too funny. And that's the thing I was going to say at the Laguna bar at Coronado. The options that they do have for food include nachos. So yes, I know. Just to let people know that. So does that count?
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we've got in City Works. Show of Sands.
They have a couple different tacos actually.
They do. Did they have a
tuna taco?
Breakfast one for a while? I think, or do they still have that? That was good. I remember getting that. That was good. It was one that had egg in it. I feel like.
And of course, there's a couple of like quesadilla options at the
for sure, yes,
bar at Coronado.
Yep.
So and they have like frozen margs over there if you just don't want to leave the dig site. I've done that many a day. That's a good day there.
They actually have shrimp tacos over there too in the little by the Coronado bar.
Yep, you don't even have to leave the pool.
Nope.
I think we've exhausted it. I think everybody's gonna have.
We've done what we could do.
I'm so hungry for Mexican now. Dang it!
Right? You know where I'm headed.
I know where you're headed. Yeah.
Gonna run for the border, baby. 90s reference there.
Yeah, I'm not headed there.
My mother-in-law comes in solid every holiday. I get a Taco Bell gift card. Shout out Elaine. You got a good mother-in-law that knows you when she gets you a Taco Bell gift card every holiday. Anyway. Let's get out of here. So we're going to have a great weekend. And everybody, I bet you everybody's going to get Mexican this weekend.
Right. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you to your, we applaud all your local chambers of commerce that are going to be enjoying your patronage. All right. So we want to see you over on the Discord. Again, beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. Hopefully that's working. If not, go to beourguestpodcast.com and just find the widget right there below and just join the Discord. We'd love to have you in on the conversation. It's been fun. Don't forget, all the shows brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're standing by all weekend, helping plan amazing Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney trips. And don't forget, the iron is still hot on those 2025 Walt Disney World vacation packages. You can get those increased booking bonuses right now. Time's running out on that. It's only for the first month, but you can still get in on that right now. And don't forget, you get that free water park day on your check-in day for those 2025 packages. That's a big perk. So let's get you hooked up. Get those swimming trunks ready. And think about it. You got all that time to get ready for swimsuit season. I mean, 2025 is still a long time away. But book it now. So you get the room you want. Everything's locked in. And you got that carrot so you can get on the treadmill. That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm motivating myself. You can do whatever you want. That's what I'm doing. Hey, cruise. I got a cruise coming up and I'll be talking about it. We need to get you on a Disney Cruise Line ship. If you've never done it, they're the bomb. They're awesome. If you've been on one, you got to go back. Deck 11 ice cream machine. You get to go to all the great places in the Caribbean, maybe to Alaska, maybe to the Med. These ships go all over the place. And we Disney Fantasy is going to be going some cool places here soon too. So we're going to just have a good time getting you the places you love with the characters you love, with the company you love. So just swing by themagicforless.com today. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That really does help support us. And the best way to support is Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. $5 a month. All it takes really does help us out. And you get the bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. So please come on over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can support us on the social media. Ricky Nibs, RIKKI and IBS. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. I'm at BRGuest Mike. Twitter, Instagram, Threads. Give us a follow. And Sunday night, we'll see you. St. Patrick's Day. We're celebrating. We're going to take your calls. We'll have a great time. You can call in and speak with an Irish accent if you want. You don't have to. I'll try probably terribly and it'll be terrible, but hey, it'll be fun. So 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. We'll be having a good time on the BOGP open line. Record numbers last week. Let's blow it out of the water this Sunday night. So we'll see you in a couple of days. All right. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Friday. Whatever you do, stay safe, stay healthy, and yo quiero Taco Bell.
Oh my gosh. Cheryl, you helped us out a ton today.
Oh my God, Cheryl, you own the show. We'll send you a check.
Cheryl done the research, man. I'm impressed.
I need to send her a Taco Bell gift card.
Right? Too funny.
She does live in the most beautiful place in the world.
She does. Yes, this is
That's
true.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great week.
Hang on.
She's got jet lag.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
He made us wait for that, Pam.
No.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Stop.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
No.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Do you still have that thing I gave you? Do you still have that chihuahua that I gave you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Christmas one?
Yeah. There you go.
Jordan, I didn't use it. Dang it.
It's all right.
Dang it. Oh, well.
All right.
I'll see you guys later.
All right. See you next
Bye.
week. Same time. Same place.
Bye.
Bye.